Mrana Yashisha to say, Kakra can say, Siciano, there are few things assessant from December up to summer this year. It's a session soon. One in that I say UK this year, to be honest, I'll call it a year of war for most of the migrants, and I say most of them. You need British citizenship. It's a tough year for everyone. And why? Why? Because the history of the UK, immigration is one of the biggest points when it comes to elections. In somewhere in July, UK will be having an election, and so the party in power is trying their best to show, say, we are tough on immigration, and therefore they have started to find means and ways to reduce migrants coming in. If you are Home Secretary, you see as a base of 4 up to now. I mean, from the last year, there have been changes because Obiano could not control immigration. Currently, the Home Secretary Mrawa Shato say, and also Peso Ebane say, Obeti net migration. So, and he say, Obeye na say, Nipa was a backroomer, so Obeye Juma, so we come up with say Oba because they are only here, asylum, human rights, anything beyond Teso. A Teso Pena, yet me the Banashe, Troy for Nisa, which is conservative for Nisa, and what you Bruno. And now I am key agenda. Now, or this I'm married to Johnny, so okay, see, I deal person you say, oh, young now health and care visa. I have one of the best routes migrants in first back room, say, or ye, it has to be here for home because health and care visa don't skilled worker visa home, but because you have a shortage occupation, I become skilled worker. See, if you shortage occupation, health and care visa bien hobium. Yes, will be here for you. And I say, health and care visa no, Obama, Obia Obebiano, Untimin Fowl Ray, and now Ukunu and Kamu, Untimin Fowl can be and Kamu, so you can only come solo. And then Brakuni Bako Peso Ebanano, which they are trying to set up somewhere in January or February. Secondly, normal skilled worker. You can normal skilled worker. A Juma, I was saying, I certificate and sana why and answer, unya skill and sana why and this is no. I can tell say to you currently a 26,200 or more, and yan to mark 38,000, which means say Juma so for Juma and hourly rate was also £13.13 and 50 no, or more to ako. I think it's £14 and almost £15 an hour. As an Juma be in where Baba will be a free professor of Pacromacy. Nase skilled worker is another or more artisanal. Tea, Washington rank a crank a craft where Anna it's me, AOC acquiring migrants or more Ewaha and answer more person back Cromacy. But a cramaka, I found when say neither of those two is applicable to migrants already in the country. Mra UK has in Brano. Aya yenye if it be retroactive legislation and I say retrospective legislation. Say oh yeah Mra. I was say Mra shas free browse man institute economy. Enti me nyam rank as okay. Yeah man amana konechi. Enti say you can say CCA would be back room as you also nya 38,000 and not just all Kurman Apostle for me, but also just 38,000 become migrant workers now or more a workman person for more on Kenibano. And I say a shame, say, Person fa, we a care counting me from Kenimba. Oh, had that uncamu, ye can't more mobile inside no, and more some neck. And see, UK laws do not take retrospective impact into our hands. I'm running and affected. Take a crowd meeting my car new developments. No, yes, be a penny walk, a quenya be an answer questions here, beating a bill before such a more. A crowd meeting my car new updates on immigration laws no no.
Yo, mjadala brother wakasa ma na me watching ma you kakra da update na ebu bodu you know say conservative na sisi will rule country no.
Yeah.
Nso obanda ma Labour no say was otum woni ya campaign tia because I think them say all the obia say otum wa pass the law mo obia obaba kroma no all otum akatia wodi man no do 38,000 na isha kawa kesia obiji £11.50 £12.50 e calculate iya na impa no da mo company no ontumi nye dem iska no mo so aba na ma no chede wom fa democrat na opposition party no nso botumi da ya campaign etia because isha home secretary nejuma aye there so home secretary bi bo no ho mwaden a nejuma aye no obo ho there edoma wo be krum ha no wa atwo so edoma wo be krum no otumo cut off no chede yimpa no roba no ho mwaden ba sa isha last year edoma wo da maka we Kenya Ghana fonko ya Nigeria fonko ya India fonko edoma wo bugu wa ba she krum ha no wo do so papa apaye
yeah say yeah ba you can for na yen share nim senior politicians play no omo MPP ni omo NDC and any Labour and Conservative na e ka Conservative pa omo yen nkrophobia omo ayo madwen say die eyo man ni dia no omo ayo say nationalist say yen ko ayo ho ena omo gidi say wotimi bi adwuma I mean omo dwen ni particular nko aho they say bia okay me adwuma we na nkofo we shemase enti job creators no and I say business owners no omo na consecutive for ne ene omo egro
okay enti I the MPP na o ka MPP for ya crash for nkoten
me kan sa me well say MPP me show say bi ho onye crash ni so with my MPP and I know nye at the cry MPP for ejina so e be be say crash for wo there but they ka conservative they are more nationalist crowe ye ya brofo
so British first
job creation I mean ownership of business first enti omodwen ejuma rura ho omodwen commercialization okay industrialization say ye be ya de na ados be bre en fa say bia e be je ejuma the answer dey ye producing more enti I know how na madwen we bre enti they are more inclined with businesses.
So one way capitalist
why is a capitalist? Yeah, and see business tobacco industry omunyina support conservative. And labor the year name say juma for see Labour government started as like supporting
down to the bottom
people working the working class no
okay
omuna Labour for new omo egro and anything that works from that class no nti because Labour actually say no movie say na wo nti no omo kuma most workers most middle class people and then mostly I won't say they are against businesses but they fight for people much more than businesses so when say Labour no imagine that be say yen taxi ejuma
ni wura mo no na yema employers no
employees no omo ento omo kakra ena conservative ones akwa say okay omo amo ye ejuma wura no omo na de ejuma na eba nti enti tax omo bebre nti mo na mo ye ejuma no
mo na yeba je efi mo
nti the politics are around these things however nyina him say eba na ejuma ye o UK ase ya e ma frafo bebre so ye ejuma no bi nti ama Labour government no akoye say omo ne migrants eka more e bi ti say free 1973 ho be bia UK ka European Union no Romania, Polish, saa we know. Omo nyinaa bɛyɛ Latvians, bidua tomatoes, omo bɛyɛ omo boa macaroni kɔ so. Tiama Labour for no ɛyɛ omo awawa too. Conservative for no yɛ mo fa ho sɛ ofiri Latvia na so ofiri hi. Omo hia okuro nti bɛyɛ adwuma wi akɔ. Omo yɛ yaa yɛ ho ti. Ɛno ne nkɔfo me no omo to apan sisi ano. Nti sisi ano esan sɛ Labour for no type pay nipa bebree ni nti no. Ama for the past 3 or 4 times yɛnto aba ma Labour pay because nkɔfo bebree omo okuro ma sɛ nim sɛ o kumu adɔɔso dodo na nkɔfo aba ha dodo. Nti de bia no to aba ma conservative for no.
So they can protect their borders.
They can protect their borders. That's what they want. But sisi ane the conservative for nyoma mo ye no akoye se omo ma nkɔfo bebree aba. Ti omo ya ma nkɔfo nsɛsi fom. Nti omo sisi ano omo mmia omo nsɛm. Ti na wo ha do how high so application be refuse no only more after our selling interview but men also okay they are trying to frustrate migrants in the country. That's why when I was starting this podcast I said this year is a year of war. Okay, because migrants are torn between two battles. Conservative form pewasem and yet make us some pewasem but or more try to minimize the numbers no. Labour force or more imagine say omo betimi ajo awa tu no omo nya ka se omo ajo awa tu a enya de beto aba mo because ekromafo na nkasa no empe nya so mpe ahoho but omo fi se eya adoso nti the stress and strain eba NHS ni so.
And what you are saying, if I could be saying something about it, it means that woman work by now why am I granting? How many of them now were office jobs?
Yeah.
Because a Juma way care training, the no. Apart from woman, baby, I'm with me, I'm about school, na way to my market, a office jobs now. The warehouse, So, I think about the very sound. There is a question to be. If I try a war UK, you want to be safe with UK.
Wow. Okay.
That's big question now because you able to me at the impact on the impay or rent dying the mean. Sikaya would you cheer the whole of the year no. I don't have your home pay there. The whole year also you might 30-something thousand. But then it's kind of so you are can you save in the UK?
Wow. Yes and no. Obviously, the reason why most people are still in the UK is because they want to do their best to save. Kakra, I want to say, we are migrants. Immigration, I give Sika much more than anything in the UK. Okay? Young fan, we are a migrant, or and that's what I will say, or British, and that's what for the first year, we say 2.5 and more a year. For the first year, application a car will go almost £5,000.
2.5 no.
2.5, almost £5,000. Legal fees come home, almost £5,000 for 2.5. And see, 1 year, the whole tax arbitrary normally, so when you fancy 18,600 and I say tax arbitrary and do 5,000. But immigration application it can move 5,000. Inti, not just we are not battling against tax NI, but we battle against immigration status. Scar CVD. Inti, for say if it's 2.5 and I say fancy 2 years, remove the half from it. You are saving 5,000 for it, plus tax ni nyoma. And she said we are around 18,600, which is the standard salary for a lot of people are 39 hours and 37 hours a week. You are looking at after tax no. Till tax now we say we are to my immigration every year we have and so be 2005 my immigration beside 2005 for tax if no more so NI but although you be earning about 18 to 20,000 pounds a year, 10,000 is gone. na aka I mean me say be 10,000 or dey yeah okay more
or rent
normally rent is around £600. I mean so 1 bedroom around £600 a month. And see a year no almost 7,200. And see the account is around £3,000 to £5,000 per. What did this come? What did you be by bus and found by or drive here or fuel no you might be buying tea. You almost cash strapped, especially if you're a migrant. If you're not a migrant, I mean you are okay. The tax from only immigration charges paid here, only the also. See, I saw immigration charges, my yanka crampo. I think it's from the January 31st of January, no. IHS fee no mutum from 624 to 1,000 and something. Okay, imagine.
Search charge, no.
Immigration health search charge, no. I couldn't even 2 years, 2.5 now, almost £3,000. And so now face a fee and Kasaba 4,000, and so now legal fees near the other. So you realize, say, it's very difficult for you to save when you are living alone if you are single. And the best advice I can give is for you to save something, especially if you're a migrant. Now, it's not to rent alone, so you can do in pairs. You know, if the rent is £600, now say we need to £800 for retire. At least you are saving between yourself, and you're saving about £400 that can go into each of whatever you're doing. And then I think say, I mean, few things are between a year now amount I have kakra. But the best thing is that say you will say apart from skilled workers now more day you buy no we are British and I say we are EU national and I say family member of an EU national and I won't need leave to or indefinitely leave to remain. We can find a way to set up businesses, okay, apart from whatever you are doing. I know Mumbai and Northampton as an example. Northampton has well over 4,000 Ghanaians. Well over 4,000 Ghanaians
living in Northampton.
Yeah, Northampton. And imagine, he found out demography way, okay, and well over 4,000 Ghanaians. Barbering shop, I mean, maybe a year hair do near that day. We don't have a lot of them in here. Imagine 4,000 people. We have every 2 weeks. They are very scanty Ghanaian barbers here, okay. Which every domain imagine me on here still wanting me for nipa 4,000. And you might kitty who are a bit in a boy Ghana for me who Ghanaian mechanic in Northampton. Maybe I'm not me there, but say a mechanic. Ghanaian mechanic in Northampton. Maybe the first 6 months, because of Germany already. But nipa ba kuhuno, me say huno. When nipa ba once na fe, onya ejuma kra no onya bi na waye because ebuso. Because imagine number of people who drive to Northampton say Ghana for, and Ghana is really Nigeria for, you know. So I would be for especially here now. You work say you need. I mean, limited leave, no. It makes me establish 1 or 2 because these are the only area our people can venture into. Healthcare, and I say, and support works, they say, cleaning and other things are, and you wanna, you're from the crowd with my advice is, say, per se, I cry, second for you, you shall say, much more entrepreneurial. Well, entrepreneur is risk taking. So we don't want to say, "Ubi Juma, fashion to say Juma nebeti megu." Okay, you never start say, "Okay, hey, I'm sure we say." Then you never start work. It's a risk you are taking. You know, so don't go in thinking, say, "Okay, I mean, anyway, it's any and answer anyway. If it's barbering, you can start by in your own house and answer in a place a bit more. Then, if you have good customers and stuff like that, you can grow more. You know, and see, that's the advice I can give. I mean, most people. I can use myself as an example. like the firm, the firm which I joined, I mean, I'm a partner of. Last year alone, okay, we worked on over 1,000 cases. Okay, that was the first year in Northampton here.
Only
Northampton. Over 1,000 cases in a year from December to December last year in Northampton. So on an average, it means that every day we have 3 new cases we are working on. Every single day, 3 cases, fresh cases. If it's, 3 cases is around more than 3 cases a day, including Saturday and Sunday. Imagine. I don't see any law firm, it's massive. Normally on the average, in a firm like this, you'll be looking at about maybe 200 cases or 300 cases in a year, okay, which is a case a day. But we more than 5 times. We are still improving. We are still increasing our number of lawyers working for King's Court Law. And you can imagine why a lot of people will call, and then maybe, especially on my personal line, because it's buzzing every day. It's buzzing every day. I would advise be our friend now in Sanka, Mia. Office 9, there are a lot of lawyers in the office. More responsible lawyers in the office are moving to me about our case. They are experts in immigration. We have barristers. We have every person are based about our case now. So do not limit yourself. And me can't see. So what can we do for ourselves? We are now homogeneous people. Okay, I beat me and because and yes, we are here 50, 100 BKK. We are done. So why don't we start doing something, especially when migrants are coming in and when you're say skilled worker visa and other thing. See, I could say yes. If you're working on a warehouse and other things now, a tough decision to save, but when you're busy. But on the other scale of things, we should be very innovative, especially new crop of people that are free Ghana, but skilled workers are mobile. Do don't have secondary and also university, so they can do a lot of things. It's a moment when you're not high.
You good na program. We will fill that by share page, or sign Omega or YouTube na subscribe, share my unia na onti open nema boko Ghana Paco shipping. A pastor a Church of Pentecost, Northampton be or Williams be or we did there in your noma Mababano, Mutu Marco na Moya Aquacosum. Open crosso I can't there. Ghana for no, they be it the man for your complaint there. Na Ghana for motor yards or your store to the shop. We are yen to Kara, yes, Yakaka. Malata or Afro, Mammy, be or Ebony store or so. You know, most of Ghanaians, Ghana for shop on Kotaze. Ba futuka Canada ma yenu ya numa.
We didn't do anything related to law, but I think it's a good thing. Evesha Afia say, your mind. Say, every Ghana for every share was saying. So your best is to support your fellow Ghanaian. Sometimes I think say one time nominate me could be aiding come say Afro shop. African shop koto adia be another bonus slightly higher than Okokaka no koto. Inti and kaka shops are make mostly Sri Lankan shops ne other Asian shops no more African goods no. Might be slightly cheaper. Then they ask why? Because the reason is because most of the Sri Lankan shops and then most of the Asian shops they buy together. Into a kaka shop and a kaka shop in Wellingborough and Northampton, when they are buying yam from the wholesale, they buy it together. They say
so when you wholesale price,
they get it a very, very cheap price because it's wholesale. But be a Ghanaian shops no, we work out on an individual, it's got on an individual because one maybe they don't know themselves. Yeah, do also a competition here that they didn't know. And see the price they'll give to them, the cost itself, because sebi okofa one now okofa by red me and I say by red boxes, 3 boxes. No be okofa by 50 boxes no. Economics of scale. Ebe buana senyo. Into balance of this one and answer going to be slightly better. But once we start to patronize these Ghanaian products near Ghanaian shops now, ebe buama almost no in terms also mliko fana ne omo enyoma mo ye no aso any. Normally that's what I advise people to do. It might be if you are Ghanaian shops then cheaper than Kaka and I say other Asian shops no. But you have to put a conscious effort. Say 1p and 2p now every person. So they Ghana. I mean, you know. So just do it, buy it from there. I mean sometimes ease of location. Because I'm driving parking, but you should have Eco Park, Eco because we want to. Yeah, made in Ghana, no one. I say yeah, Buama made in Ghana, no so. Say I just say ya never boy. Yeah, migrants and as a skilled workers sayabano. Me and he said this is 2024. This is what we are doing because yeah, we are all we have. What do I say? When you have a group of Masia, you come up for yeah, any. So if it's Ghanaian barbering shop, yes. If it's a Ghanaian shop, yes. If it's baby a Ghana piano, that's where you patronize. And it helps us. Well, see, I'm saying a crab meeting I can't find when I say, Mr. Yeah, I bet Maya any other thing and say, make it a conscious effort, say, okay. May call be a Asian shop here 3 minutes, but may call African shopper about 10 minutes. Women when he say, I'm doing 10 minutes
for Ghana.
For Ghana, yes, I'm just doing it. No, it might be just if you are barrier pay na auto and I say oil back on auto, but it helps. Once we start improving these things, no, now yes, so you know, it's helping. One of the things I really cherish about most of the Asian culture is that Asian most, especially a law firm like ourselves, is connected through their temples. If you are a Hindi temple and that's in Bisa. So maybe there might be one, for instance, an accountant. Me. Before you realize, it brings one client to you, you help the person, another client comes. So on you can generate about 100 people coming from one person because they say you're very good and you can get a job done. And from that, it's coming from one source. It will be a free, and also Asian, especially Indian, Pakistani, be not free around this area, but meaning temple crowd because I'm the lawyer they direct to. And so I get a lot of client base from them. And see, the same way, if we start doing these things, we know ourselves better, we understand ourselves. We too, barbering shop. As a mechanic, I go house home about me pay. We be there, I cry. It's not what we start barbering shop, I say, it could be I was to be a of Hampton and Kwan, London areas, Essex, Coventry, whichever area you are in the UK. If you need help and stuff like that, talk to your Ghanaian people. Yes, Ghana forbid doing some work. It was Papa one to area and one grunty. It's a barbering shop. Do one up at yes, they have a lot of information to share with everyone because all the people come there. Lawyers, doctors, accountants, and conform more connections. Well, also call barbering shop and see, imagine, say, over corner, be out here, maybe it could now fish and we beat my ball. Yeah, so I think that's what we have to do to help ourselves. Say you patronize Ghanaian goods, you go to Ghanaian shops, and then we start to help ourselves. Say never most of the things are any too late now. Barbering shops, barbers in a day. Yeah, oh, and I can know, be a me. See, and situation here. A better boy, a bit me a boy, Nipakoi. Yeah, you bit my boy in my number office. No one think one can't answer one, maybe beer. Yeah. Would have been too late for them. So let's try to do these things to help ourselves. As I said, this year is not a very good year. I'm not a very good prophet, but I think it's not a very good year. But to me, it is a good year because when we don't fight, we don't expand. So now that they are trying to tighten immigration grips. But who say, yeah, withdrawing control with sponsorship. Both employees will have, yeah, revoke your license. Everybody, it will come, it will be very massive here because the tourists are trying to make a statement.
Okay.
So trust me, give it about 3 months. More become a program where you say, okay, that's how it's going to happen. It's politics. It happens all this year. I mean, in every country. So this is a time you have to come together. Yeah, it may be a new money, you try MBA. Yeah, it's my boy, because that's what we have to do to help ourselves. Take a crab in your cafe.
Me get the afifufuru mu nsam na ye nyina no ye sua ma o da ye ba ye ma obia no ho boton osande ya ba ho bia na ya be ni ye nyina ye kwekura ye ho da ma ye panyi no olka no onye lower summit beto ye general matters onye 2024 ya sha asi no mo mama ye nyina no ya moaboa ye ho kakra asɔre no so were responsibilities sabi obi bana onye edwuma onye baby nda wa there wɔhwɛ na wɔboan osande yenyina ye nuanom open na ansa mehwɛ ade bi wɔ internet na mu hu no ɔyɛ tax for what say what the another tax bi ba woma wɔyɛ wɔnyɛ so escape free source bi ahwɛ da meyin across my mind, me ready. Now I said, Obi abaye juma about 1,000. Fino benya more than 1,000, no. Oba check when you or update data from bank. No way home. Multiple accounts are people who are second bedroom. HMRC. Who was about to our website. You did there. Or patch the or connect the move and maybe I save your Barclays Bank. One of me pay for. And I'm more not west. But I won't learn that threaten scabby body demand. Woman made your tax for home. Didn't me read it. I was maybe I can forward the link and put there more. But
sometimes links will hide, yeah. So far as it's not from the right source, you know, it's me come once in the brain.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how kind of idea. By the you're being into probability of the bands. Say, yeah, I think the Ghana commercial share say, oh, what are your apps when I catch you? Oh, what are your Revolut and as we be catch you? You want to share with other banks, now connect to banks thing about so that you know say, oh no, be aware of more, across of accounts when across of accounts with then. Because it's kind of our accounts when you are taxed into no, near your trauma, so as soon as you say, you know, she will be on your free near the day. But it has not blown up in the UK, so I can't comment on that. My name said, son of person way, and I say, yes, son of person way. But once you work, you're supposed to get, taxed on that. It's only a for accounts for more. So far, I say, when you're self-employed, no, you should be okay. Because a moment self-employed, no, your map quite most kind of about my council. Not after the year, no, I could declare self-assessment. And see, when you're self-employed, now say be a internet, you may be now here, now maybe now here, fine. I don't think you should be. Much more worried about it. See, I'm like a cramming in a cafe and one. Yeah.
How? Next question: your fraud. There will be. Will be on your paper. Now I send this scam will be. Then you calculate this scam. A quite best than imported them number for the Jenny scam.
As a mom. So, a simple question like this, no, it involves a lot of areas of law. There's a specialist area which I work on is immigration, human rights, and and civil law when it comes to regulatory matters. I don't do crime. Okay. And see, because I don't do it for the past number of years now, I don't background here. I don't hear. However, fraud. It comes in a civil matter and it's a criminal matter. So say, When krata o ye udi eye ejuma waje obi krata why ejuma nya sika kakra ejuma ne sika na onya no enye sika pa because if I say only right to work so you can't earn that money.
Okay.
Afi what's seniska amod fofo anase nipa kwa na odi ne krata ye ejuma no nipa ne odi sika no anase so on first kind of dey no so here. Normally in these matters no you just have to from the person because ideally say o catch the police and also catch you for say nipa kwa na odi ne krata ye ejuma no ni sika na ewo mu no afa ne sika na it will show say your no one sika on an account number and okay. However, what you can do, which is not a very good thing to do, but imagine that their account is substantial. This kind of move to Kakra. The rich man is reporting to Pakonama police. And I said, lawyer. So this is the situation on the ground. There are other things. It's not strictly stated in law. It's a modern slavery. You know, if we the paper amount say for koye juma na sin pakoneti me for eji then in a way he's trying to use you for his own benefit. Okay, and then he knows it's not the best things to do. Say odobi kukata mo bi some pakonye juma na umiano. Until you are turning the person into a slave because he's working for you but you're not paying the person. Whether the person is working legally or illegally, at that time does not matter. What matters is that you are using the person for your own gains and the person is struggling. Okay. So what happens is a B say about me pain. And on any will be not in the criteria, but a will be a or the employer, okay, obey a human be a man, no music for calling in crata, no offering for Kunisika. Well over £50,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, because I never missed that question there. Aquabia, another classifier, no there, I am lawyer now. Boy, see we, Juma, away to me now. Was also by young cratty armor home. Now wage you be 5, wage you be 6, wage you be 8, wage you be 9. Why would me have Ghana for? They did the miscanina name to my now the Jews come on, none of the windy pepins won't to man now.
Okay, so
so about that, no father will be this can be mum. Name me, I'm a one crater, no. My transfer is cannon, madame, me now. The 2 men now, more crater, the 2 magis canon.
Okay, so the way can I say, said Pacono or lawyer and ask when you know. Every law firm, it's a King's Court law, we are regulated. Okay. And he said, only be signed to console or a lawyer near. Because say, first of all, you can do your checks or call Gov the UK and also call, depending what type of lawyer you know, which may I check it online. When you're born back on the name, I wouldn't say, or a lawyer near and also your lawyer near. That's the first thing you have to do. And that's why a lawyer near or insurance, professional indemnity insurance, say, or ye be one year. Which me a Jeffrey insurance company no. I also be worker no worker insurance no. And he said, why do you idea and you just have to consult the insurance company of the law firm, and then through legal suit you make Sika. And one thing is also heard. And
this one goes about sky receipt one.
No, it's a receipt in crime from home. So far I say,
a bank transaction. No.
I say normally say obi eba me ho say we born on the case one we normally would have the client letter man letter of authority no assign so
me no me the maba say the master me ya
exactly sika and I say fear also tiano and so ho e be try ma so ki say na wasem ni we sika say ne be jo and na say na be try ma fication for you sign everything and then that goes to books. Whether or not you pay or not, all you need to show is the transfer or fiscal cash what you are, and which is a feel, and that'll be all. But send I say, can you man, if you say Ben Pacono, lawyer, you might see a lot of people are more a lawyer.
More good application,
yeah. normally edge in Kofusika. First of all, check. Normally, if usually, you can do go to the person's office, make sure it's a registered office or firm. The firm is regulated. Okom websites are big go. Either they're regulated by.
Or join Kubi.
No, so we join.
And they say law firms now or government body be a usher way now or amount for in your
And I know your regulations.
Okay.
Oh, join Kua a association.
Okay.
And she said, oh, I never practice law. I was a show, so your lawyer.
Okay.
And Kofoa, you can conform me in some motivation Kofo. So I'm a lawyer for Okromasi. One is OIC, especially immigration matter. In Bracono, you have to make sure that Bracono is regulated by OIC.
OIC.
Office of Immigration Service Commission.
Okay.
Okay. Even so, Anna two, a solicitor regulatory authority. Anna three, a bar standard boards. In the bar standard boards for normally barristers. So solicitor regulatory authority, a solicitors. Immigration lawyers now are regulated by OIC. And the best people to contact are people with OIC, immigration. Normally a solicitor, who is a solicitor, but name there no, ultimately immigration matters because a general solicitor. But people are not training for immigration and Kasano, they are regulated by OIC. So if Nibakono or any website, now when you're regulated by anybody, why is a bank only source? Or do you see? Okay. So advice I'm giving my union American phone is always go to a person who is either a solicitor, an immigration advisor, regulated, or a barrister. Barrister ne they are na untim time come because of more see on humanity.
The purpose of the way you may have
barristers no, normally they deal with court case matters. Application and litigation. Court cases in Kwan. To us and then do court barrister.
Okay.
And that's why I am a tie me year more criminal. So even barristers, it's normally high court cases, no, a tie structure. No. In the case court law, we have a set of barristers we use. Okay. When your case is up there, say or high court and I say court of appeal and I say here, we have about 7 or 8 barristers. They are perfect in other areas of law. We use them on cases, and always the cases are successful when it comes to matters in T.
No solicitors.
So solicitors normally they do it all areas of law. In T, say criminal, say civil, say family, and other areas. No? Properties, exactly. So once you become a solicitor, you train on all these areas of law.
Okay.
And you're expert for one area.
Solicitor.
Solicitor. Criminal matter, solicitor. Civil matter, solicitor. A regulation matter, solicitor. But because solicitor is generally all the cases need to know. Among radar one area.
Among
specializing. So when you're solicitor or specialist, crime a better. And so when you go to school and also a law school, a solicitor and because unless the person is specializing in an area, when it comes to me, I am specializing in immigration and human rights, and it's a civil area. No, but criminal side meets me more because any one area. Okay.
So to the doctor, specialist
ENT, no alcohol, and I say surgeon, a general no alcohol. And that's what I'll tell people. Say the facts are an interest, so what do I say? Make sure the person is specialist in the area. That's why, especially when it comes to immigration now, even if the person is a solicitor, make sure say or a specialist for immigration, and I say or say you're regulated by OIC. So you're regulated by OIC here. You are clean, we are sorted. So you're regulated by OIC here. Also, one can say in Pakistan, why you how many years why? And just at the end, as a solicitor, obey my but especially with immigration, the law changes all the time. And there are changes in immigration rules. What you say? So wow. Okay, back to your matter now. And now they have to report to the police. what I say, now if you say be being cratter or the mobina, what I say, but say a matter which is in such a state, say, yeah, what do you see come up so on facilitating your mama, non pakona just come on file scanning more back up. One, get a lawyer involved, let a lawyer talk to the person. Say, you know, say, Chinchina or some person coming by and I say, on person very from there. They report the matter to the police. There are other areas of law ultimately with National Crime Agency because its canon is in relation to fraud. When you say there normal police, say there traffic and as a fraud related matter. So you just report him. So this is me a layman minded person. If I say me nyan krata okroma say me krata say na because you obeje na waye wabwa me sakram krata no. If you say legal fees and a matches kana mano me ji misika or some first kana mame nti o catch them say a lawyer ni but my church be mo atwe no they will find the case and get your money back to you. But normally because you're exposed to these people, their duty is also to make sure say you have right to remain in the UK. That's why I always tell you, get a lawyer first, discuss with the lawyer, then take the matter to wherever you want to take it. And as my lawyer, I want to take the matter to wherever I want to take it. I have cases I've dealt with. Namakatre police will say, okay, as soon as you say no, so me person mun pa ko ne fee. Me se me ncho ne fee or yin onu ni me lawyer ni wa catch me say no. Wo bo na mun bo na o sa kwan so. O pass me ncho ne pa ko fee de. Nya dia me. But in Pakona, Kasako report in home police for Kabana or the detention center. So it's always better to engage a legal practitioner in matters like this. Sinebeya Ubenyam one ye say a bear be a humbetra when I obey. So once you report the case to a lawyer, your best interest is at the heart of the person. So there's no way. So big catcher me say me ya do it, and free a criminal. Me, I want to support the case. So far as I support the case, it means the case is legit and I'm helping the person to do so. James Kakra meeting me a kafa.
Yo, we did the baby, you would do an into the ever more pain in the last word, not the office lie that to buy.
And we need, I'm saying, the BBS. I try 1 hour mark now, which is very inspirational. Say, still, Nepal so programming, Yadamasi, I'm sure Mopa. Office number, we did say, send me kind, go over bit my friend, but you'll be a call and bit my picky. And so, person friend now, Unyamwa agent here. Office line here 075 72099 699.
Repeat.
075 720 99 699.
699.
Meta pay or comment section of Snibby with me. Now, I opposite Uhuna man so I bet my call KeynesCallLaw.com. KeynesCallLaw.com. Oko have bit my bookie appointment. So here the agents are they make an say bookie appointment because bookie appointments are the time is just for you to talk. But say you have my personal line now. Looking at the number of cases imagine last year alone over 1,000 cases, 3 cases per day. They're always working on it. Inti be a na yensasi bi mu aye nya dia normally waiting a free. 2 free office line now is the best to call or at least book an appointment and one of our best lawyers will be able to help get your case across. Lastly, as some Americans say, to migrants, bebo modia na ya share sapumunsu na ya boa in the best as we can. Switching immigration category or trying to find a way to push an investment through, because me did say if you come as a skilled worker, say obey care, and you know kwana, I was away, baby, and it's at least to set up a business. You can still talk to people who are either British or have indefinite leave to remain, who has the ability to set up businesses, who basically manage and I my business stage now. Okay, those people can get sponsorship licenses just to manage few people. What is American say? Say they are care na wafadi probably a base 50 na onye. If you have a key area, maybe events organizing and as event management, now British national be visa now or fighting to get jobs, and then at the end of the day he's paying you, you're working, you're doing what you want to do with your life, and that's way better. So crap me be and you say if ma ya sit na no akoyi ya mai ehun na me sure be so kai ho ko see say me jama penny
era ba say